Morning, it's Friday the 22nd here, so we're one day after the latest provincial update. And you probably know this already, but there isn't much to update. In fact, it looks like the current regulations and restrictions are going to be in effect a lot longer than we had hoped. So, again, we're not in control of these things, but we do have to figure out a way to respond to these. So, our board met last night and over Zoom, and we discussed things quite at length. And in the midst of that, we discussed some of the challenges of the new live stream. So one of the realities is myself and Shayla and Ernie and whoever happens to be part of that live stream, we don't actually watch it live, so we don't see if there's problems. So if you're having problems logging on, if you're having problems finding the video with YouTube or Facebook, if the sound quality isn't great or the video is not working, some of those things, just let us know. Send us an email or a text message or something and give us a heads up, and we will gladly fix those things as much as we're able. Some things we've figured out. I've been sitting in a stool because the lighting on the stage has been a little funny and we haven't been able to figure out why I go in and out of focus. So that's something we're doing. I'm not going to wear striped shirts anymore because the camera seems to have a hard time picking up the stripes. And one thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a much longer countdown to the beginning of the church service, because I guess a few people have been having troubles logging on to Facebook or YouTube and finding the video until kind of that last minute. So we're going to have the video starting a little earlier. The goal, and this is not set in stone, but the goal would be something like 10:20 in the morning. It will go live with a longer 10 or 15 minute countdown so that you have lots of time and you don't have to feel rushed. If there's other things that you're not sure about, or you just can't seem to figure out the process, just let me know and we'll talk you through exactly how to get hooked up and logged on real easily. There's actually some really simple ways that you can do this. For instance, if you're on Facebook, you can just have it set so that when the Banff Park Church page there, when it goes live, it can send you a notification, and you can just click that notification and it'll bring you right in there. And so you don't actually have to do very much at all. So that's one way that you can do it. We've also talked about how to extend the reach of the Sunday morning service. So there's ways that you can do that, and we're going to talk more about these in the coming weeks and months. But one of those ways is you can create a watch party so that you can invite other friends to join in to that. And we're working on ways to make, especially that first few minutes of the service and announcements, a little bit more interactive, and ways that which you can connect with people and comment on the page and talk to each other kind of as if like a virtual coffee type of scenario. So we talked quite at length about that, and I'll keep you in the loop as to how that all goes, and I'll explain some of this on Sunday. So one thing that we do want to make note of, because it's a rather serious thing, is it's been a long time that we've been live streamed it, and we did, or I should say we've been online. We did kind of get back in person for a while, and that was wonderful. But now with the numbers, the percentages of what we're allowed to bring in so low, it's caused us some logistical challenges. But in that, we want to recognize that let me just start this way. Many of you have said that you are very thankful for the live stream and you would like to stay home and to watch the service, and hopefully we can make this more interactive, like I said. But many of you are okay and you understand this scenario. We live in a unique community. This is a unique challenge, and it's just causing us all kinds of logistical challenges. And so many of you have said we're content and we're doing okay. But I know that some might not be doing okay. And so for your spiritual health, if you're just really struggling with, man, I live alone and logging in online, I feel disconnected. Or perhaps just from a mental standpoint is you're not doing real well because you haven't been able to connect with anybody except, maybe a couple of housemates that you have, or a couple of coworkers that you have, or something. But if you're needing that in-person connection, we do want to create a little bit of space on Sunday mornings. Now again, we're not allowed very many people, but we do recognize that there's something about being in person that might be necessary for you. And we want to create space for that. So if that's you, if you're sitting here thinking, yes, I would love to come, even if there's only so there's about 5 of us usually, sometimes about 6 that are involved in the service. So if there's a few more of you and you're like, man, I want to come Sunday mornings, I need to come this morning for my mental health or for my spiritual growth, if that's you, just let me know, and we'll figure that out. We'll make sure that you can do that. Now, again, that's kind of like by appointment only. The reason for that is because we have very, very limited numbers in our somewhat small church. So if you can let me know by Saturday that week and just say, hey, is it possible for me to join and kind of sit in the back or sit in the middle or somewhere? I mean, there's loads of room as far as, we're empty, really. So if you're sitting there and you're going, yes, I would like to come, and you just send me a message, email, text, phone, whatever, by Saturday, we'll make sure to have a space for you and to look for you that Sunday morning. But that is very limited with our spacing. So, but we do want to open that up for you. And again, if, we'll deal with all the challenges that come one at a time. We don't know all the logistics of all these things, but realizing that this is in all likelihood going to continue on for months rather than weeks, we want to do whatever we can. Also, one thing that we talked about at length, and I'll give you more information on this on Sunday and next week, but we are being very serious about how to improve our online presence so that it feels a lot more personal, so that there's a lot more helpful and up-to-date and correct information available at your fingertips, and better and more relevant resources for you in your spiritual growth and for the growth of your family. So parents, with your kids, that's going to be a focus that we're going to have. Discipleship, there's going to be a lot of things. So we're working towards this very seriously. And again, I'll give you a little bit more of an update on Sunday about this, but that's kind of where we're at. It's certainly not what we had hoped for, but again, we want to be biblical in everything that we do, and so we want to submit to our authorities. We want to respect them, but we also want to be very creative and very intentional in meeting, connecting, and figuring out how to do this. One last thing is we're also going to be looking at ways in which we can connect really small groups together in Bible studies at various times throughout the week. So we know quite a number of you, there's a ladies' study on Tuesday mornings and Thursday evenings. Maybe those times don't work for you. Maybe you would rather have you're not one to do a gender-specific study or a marriage-specific study, that kind of a thing. And you would just like 3 or 4 people to get together and study Scripture together. We're going to start to reach out and figure out ways in which we can do that and work with your schedule, with the days that you might have off or the times and that work best for you. So those are things that we're going to do in the coming days here and coming weeks. So please know that you are loved, and we are doing everything we can. We're thinking outside the box. Your spiritual health, your mental health, your physical health, all these things are important. But of course, your spiritual health, we put a top priority on. We believe that's our call. So that's what I know. That's what I can tell you for this morning. I'll send an email out to everybody as well, and just encourage you to reach out to the church. Give me a phone call, text message, email, whatever. If you have any needs of any kind, if you're not feeling well, if you're just down, if spiritually you're struggling, whatever it might be, we would love to help you as much as we can. So we're looking forward to seeing you virtually on Sunday again, and in the coming couple of Sundays, we're hoping that we are able to get a different level of connection online in our quest to be more personal. So have a wonderful weekend, and we look forward to Sunday. Have a great week.